A few weeks ago, Paradox announced the highly demanded game Victoria 3. The response to the announcement of the game has been very positive, and some Paradox fans have been waiting for this game for years. So with the new announcement of the game, I thought I'd start making a few Victoria 3 videos, and given the fact I did economics as a degree, in today's video I will be explaining what we know so far about the mechanics of the Victoria 3 economy, or also known as Vicenomics. But before we begin, we are trying to hit 40,000 subscribers, which would be amazing, so if you haven't already, please do consider clicking that button. Also, I'm sure you won't want to miss out on some other Victoria 3 videos I make. So unlike some of the other Paradox games like Hearts of Iron 4 and Europa Universalis 4, which mainly focuses on war and taking control of the world by force, Victoria 3 has a different focus, which is state management, and so therefore in comparison to these games, the economy has been developed to be far more complicated. I think this really reflects the Victorian period with vast economic growth for a large number of countries, and scientific innovations led to a significant increase in productivity on the whole. So how have Paradox developed the economic aspect within Victoria 3? Well, at the start of the game, there are 1 billion people, and 80% of these people live in a subsistence economy, so they are only able to support themselves, with very limited surplus of resources. And therefore, already in Victoria 3, the global market will have a small amount of supply, and a high amount of demand given this factor. In Victoria 3, you're also able to build a large amount of buildings, such as wheat farms and textile mills, that enable you to produce certain resources that are essential for your nation in terms of gaining wealth and helping your people. Economically speaking, however, in the game, the buildings need to be strategically built given the future demand of resources. For example, if the American economy is expanding rapidly due to manifest destiny, then the American population may demand high-end products such as fur clothes. As Russia, you could anticipate this future demand and start building fur clothes factories to have an infrastructure in place when the demand of the Americans rise, and you can export your resources over to America for a significant profit. This is just one of the many ways of how resources vary significantly in price. Taking into account economics, the different resources will also fluctuate to a different extent. For example, wheat demand will be relatively stable in comparison to something like gold, which will fluctuate depending on supply. In economics, this is called the price elasticity of demand. The markets of Victoria 3 will also have a different demand depending on the location. For example, Americans may require furniture, while the British people may require tea. The prices and supply of these goods will also have a massive impact on a country, with happiness of citizens and wages fluctuating. The price is also finally affected by where it is produced. For example, it may be far cheaper to extract gold in California than, say, Greenland. All these factors in the Victoria 3 economy add lots of complexity and flavour to the game, with more information coming out soon. Moving on, given the fact the markets varied based on the demand of the population, which can be shown graphically, improvements in infrastructure may also reduce prices due to low transport cost, and therefore promote economic growth within your nation. Throughout the Victorian era, infrastructure was being built at an exponential rate, such as the railways within the British Empire, and the first transcontinental railroad in the United States. Hopefully we shall see that infrastructure by sea and land promotes rapid economic growth as it did in this time period. The final aspect I want to talk about is trade and economic systems within Victoria 3. As a nation, you can pick a number of economic systems that will have vastly different consequences for your nation. An economic system that is popular is free trade, as many economists recommend this system due to the efficiency and low prices. However, this could lead to an increase in unemployment if the international market takes over your local market, and therefore your local market becomes unprofitable. On the whole, Victoria 3 has a vast and complicated economy, but this complexity could add a lot of character to the game.